Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula, America's Medicare Associates, and Retirement Tax Partners with Nolan Baker and Scott Kirshner. The number is 419-794-3030. The website, you can find out more about the team, set up a time to speak with them there as well. That is arhq.com. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, almost $12 trillion. Larry Fink is their CEO, and he believes there is a retirement crisis in America with Social Security facing possible benefit cuts and many, well, quite frankly, not saving enough on their own. His answer, his solution, rethink the traditional retirement age of 65 because these days it's outdated.
I believe for those who can and they find purpose in work, my gosh, work as long as you can. You think about the miracles of technology and how it transforms our lives and extends our life. Can we afford that longevity? And our entire retirement system was based on statistics that were created 50 years ago, whereby most Americans retired between 60 and 62 then, but most Americans then passed away at 67. And today, statistically, a couple 60 years old in good health, one of them is going to live over 90.
Now, I would venture to say that we've got some listeners right now that are maybe in their 60s that are hearing this, maybe delay your retirement another year or two, that are saying some choice words to the radio right now. But let's talk bigger picture here. What is your take on retiring at 65? When you're designing a client's retirement future, how do you help them determine when they can retire comfortably?
Well, to me, I really say the term is financial independence, right?
Sure.
The term financial independence is not necessarily picking a time. We recently had somebody came in from a referral and sat down and we had worked with her. And then I asked her that. I said, well, what age do you want to retire? And she says, well, when I feel financially confident that I can. But right now she's out and she's actually, doing real estate. It's a good business. She enjoys what she is doing. I would say, similar with you, Scott, you are getting closer to that retirement age. You got me beat by a couple of years, but, you still have a passion. You enjoy what you do.
Sure.
You're in some good earning years as well. You have freedom and flexibility. It doesn't have to necessarily be, I'm going to retire at age 65. It's a matter of figuring out how and when can I retire.
Well, there's no question. I run into that a lot, Nolan. People come in and, it's funny because some people come in and they'll sit down and say, okay, so tell me when can I retire? And I look at them and, I kind of chuckle and say, well, that really depends on exactly what you said. When do you feel you are financially secure enough to retire? But there's a lot of things, like for me, I go through this scenario and, I love to talk about real life examples in that. And I go through this scenario with me personally. I love what I do. I thoroughly enjoy and love what I do. And, the long weekends, I get to Sunday and I'm preparing mentally to come into work. And if I've got Monday off for a holiday or what have you, I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do? I'm sitting at home, I'm doing nothing. So for me personally, I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. I'm not outside in the elements, the cold weather, the hot weather, the rain, the bad elements of working outside. I don't have that. I sit, I meet with people, I enjoy what I do, and I love the satisfaction of helping people navigate through their health insurance and Medicare. So, that's the kind of scenario I look at. I'm looking at, I have no reason to retire as long as I stay healthy. 70 years old may be a magic number for me. But I can remember, and it's kind of like what Larry said was, it's 50-year-old thinking, right? What happened when you turned 65? You had your birthday at 65. You typically sign up for Social Security. You sign up for Medicare, and you retire. And that's what the old thought process is. And that's not happening anymore. I see that every day. I talked to a couple in last week, and I asked them, well, what's your thought process on retirement? He says, well, I'm on my employer plan for my health insurance. I love what I do. I'm probably not going to retire until I'm at least 69 years old, right? And he's turning 65. So he's got 4 years of earning, some good income and paying for things. Now, some of the things to be prepared for, if you do decide to retire early, which is great. If you're financially set and you want to retire early, there's some key things that you really want to be prepared for. And a few of those are, what is the cost of healthcare gonna impact your retirement? A perfect example is if you're under 65 years old, you're looking at the Unaffordable Care Act. And when you're looking at that, it is truly income based. And the reason why Nolan and I, work so well together, and we go back, 20 years, is we work hand in hand helping you understand what your costs going to be and how can we lower your reportable income to save you as much money as possible if you do have to sign up on the marketplace for health insurance. When you get into Medicare, a lot of things change. And I have had people that are actually getting a hefty subsidy for their marketplace plan, and they go on to Medicare. And for right now, for 2025, the Part B premium for the standard income earner is $185 a month. In some situations, that's more than what they're paying on the ACA plans that they have. So you need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared for what are some unexpected healthcare costs like dental. I had a gentleman in and he needs a couple of implants. He's looking at a $10,000 bill just to get his dental work done. Insurance isn't going to cover that because you don't get that much coverage. The maximum we have on one plan is $6,000. So, you got to look at those unexpected expenses there as well. So, one of the things, to determine when and if you can retire is, what is my healthcare cost going to be? Am I going to be financially sound with the monies I've put aside, the monies that they've invested with you, Nolan, and how are they going to work best for them? So you want to kind of define, the first thing you want to do is kind of define your retirement goals. What are your actual income needs and wants, right? And that's what you guys do a great job at.
It really is. I mean, it's a great area, where we kind of work together. I know just recently we had did our events here and had a couple lunch and dinner events and had 150 people at a variety of different events that we were hosting. We have some other events that are coming up. If you go to our website, arhq.com, if you want to find out about Medicare, find out about health insurance options if you retire before 65, we've got some events coming up in March. You can join us. Financially, if you want to know how to prepare, we've got our economic summit coming up. But what we do is we put together the retirement team action plan. And within that retirement action plan, we can help them define what their retirement goals are. So again, what are their required income needs and what are their wants and desires that they have in retirement time? Then number two, we're going to stress test the plan to figure out, what is the probability of success of your current plan to be able to reach those goals? Then we're going to start to do a lot of different what-if analysis. There was a gentleman that had come to our dinner event that we did at Mancy's last week, and he was coming up to me and asking me questions about, retiring at the end of the year. So his question was, okay, do I get together with you right when I retire? I'm going to retire at the end of this year. Do I meet with you in January? And I said, well, what's your age? And he happened to be at an age of going to retire at 63. And I said, well, the important thing is you want to come in now, because if you come see me in January next year after you've already retired and then you're trying to get health insurance, you may have less options on how to move your assets around to make your affordable health care more affordable in retirement time, because it's an income, not an asset test. So we're able to reposition assets like what we've done for other people and then show them how to be able to do that. So the last thing you want to do when figuring out can you retire is not just looking at the number that you need today, realizing that you need to have a plan in place because things are going to get more expensive in the future.
Right.
You need to have money set aside for a pay raise, and you also need to have money set aside that can cover those unexpected expenses. So if you want to know that question, how to figure out when I can retire, whether that you want to retire as soon as tomorrow or whether you want to wait a couple of years and just check the boxes to see if there's anything else that needs to be done, that retirement team action plan is going to be your first step to make that happen. And we'd be happy to put that together for you. Or if you'd like, you can come out to one of those upcoming events that we have for you. We've got a couple of great events, again, in the month of March. We're going to be talking about health insurance and retirement time. We're going to be talking about Medicare. We're also going to be discussing the Economic Summit, going to give you a market outlook and help you get ready for your 2025 investment game plan. So a bunch of good resources to help people answer those questions of when you can retire.
You can find out the full list of those events coming up on the events page at arhq.com. If you'd love to come out, they'd love to have you out there. Get more information, including how to reserve your seat. And if you can't make either of those, or you just want to skip the line and get in front of the team, just pick up the phone and give a call, 419-794-3030. Again, 419-794-3030.